76 Streets.
I am Lyndon Bardowell, aka Buju. I am Lyndon Bardowell, aka Buju, hailing from Savlamar, Westmoreland. We are an auto parts reseller, mainly for Honda parts. We do engine building, servicing, dyno tuning, wheel alignment, etc. This is my 1999 Honda Civic that I acquired in the year 2000, brought it in from Miami. And it has been my special project ever since. Growing up, we never really had any family members who had cars, really. So me and my brother used to sit on our veranda and pick cars while they were passing by. My car, that, my car, that. And then we used to make cars from the creamer. Like a small creamer boxes with green lime as the tire. That's how the passion came about. And you know, my first car was a Hillman Hunter, a 4-speed with the overdrive on my Scepter. Yeah. So it started from there and it never left. Put on them days it was some Stromberg carburetors. We put on the dual carburetor and you know, bore the block and bigger jet in the carburetor, you know, all of them things. How this Honda came about was, well, after owning about 15 Hondas, my first Honda was a 1979 Honda Accord, that 12 valve, carbureted. And I realized that these cars were very nifty. Very quick, because I used to run around everything, you know, and from there I owned like 14, 15 more. Yeah, I owned a EG single cam modified, and then I went to a DC2 Type R. That was the fastest Honda I owned. Run around everything. But I wanted more power, the quest for more power and the hunger. So I acquired this car in 2000, and we decided that, okay, sky's the limit. This car is going to grow with me, you know, keep me alive. When I bought this car, I really didn't know I would even take it this far. I paid $2,000 for this car from Stephen Thompson. Everybody in Jamaica should know Stephen Thompson. He's a Honda pioneer back in the day. And it came with a single cam 1300 engine. And I brought it in from Miami with a B18 turbocharged engine. And this car was a pioneer for all, or most of the other Hondas you see around here driving on the street. And you know, or where this level has reached, this car. Racing in Jamaica has evolved. Mostly, you know, we used to race at events that weren't sanctioned. You know, but we used to take it on ourselves and try to regularize it and regulate it so it would be safe, you know, and people could come and enjoy themselves, you know. So I'd say around 20 years. I think we are the fastest B-Series hatch EK in the world. We are the fastest all-wheel drive EK hatch, yes. The second fastest B-Series. The fastest all-wheel drive B-Series in the world on a stock bell housing. Yeah, I think those are the records. Factory block, because the other car is on a billet block. Billet, one-piece billet aluminum. A $7,000 engine that. Yeah, me only dream. When I go over there, I see it, I just rub it down and say, wish. Yeah, man. You know, a lot of people might be surprised when it comes to this car, you know, because everything is done in-house. The team is the fabricator, the team is the tuner, and the team is the engine builder. You know, we have a few friends still overseas and, you know, international where we might ask for advice here or there, but, you know, most of the work, or majority of the work, or all of the work, you can say, was done right here by all of us. Everybody put a screw, put little ear, knock a hammer, we get it done. When it comes to the electronics and the keyboard dancing, I am the man behind the keyboard. I am running a Motec M400 in this car, and I am the man behind the keyboard when it comes to this. We do a few other ECUs, but, you know, for those who are interested, but I am the man behind the keyboard in this. The motor that we're running in this car is a sleeved block. That is I wouldn't say a modified block, but it's an upgraded block with ductile iron sleeve to handle more boost. And it's a 84mm bore, and I'm running some Carrillo steel rods this time. Not lucky with the aluminum rods. We have a stock ported head with some Kelford cams, the usual performance springs and retainers and valves, but it's a B20 crank, because in this case we need the torque. Competition clutch triple disc handles the transfer between the gearbox, and this one is kind of off the books, but this is a G-Force DRAWBACKS transmission, front wheel drive, modified. Now when I say modified, some people might wonder how this works, but this is not a four-wheel drive box. I converted this box to work with the all-wheel drive system. So everything on this car is a Honda part, apart from the transmission, which is, as I say, is a G-Force DRAWBACKS transmission, originally built for a front-wheel drive setup. Injectors are some FIC 1650s. And of course, you know, we're running the E85 because those injectors are full stainless. 90mm throttle body, a 72-85 ball bearing precision. You know, because you have to have everything happy. A 60mm TL wastegate handles the pressure. A 4-port Mach solenoid handles the boost pressure. And just about, you know, as with Hondas, we had to eliminate the distributor. So we're running a T1 Hall sensor trigger for the ignition duties. As far as spark plugs, which is a tricky one, we tend to stick with Denso IK27s, which is equal to a number 9 plug, a Kohler plug. We run some CBR coils you have to run a very low gap on that one to keep the ignition from being blown out by the high boost. The intake manifold is a piece that we've paid special attention to. It's a Kinsler 5 liter plenum. You know, it's a little bit more on the performance side in terms of all the other stuff. It's a little bit pricey, but it's beneficial to the build. As far as fuel pump now, we went with a well-done 2345. That is the biggest, most powerful electrical pump one could ever find on any race car. Yeah, so your lines, which would be stainless steel braided, have to be up to par because this thing pushes things apart. Fuel is very important, so you can't really be lacking in that department. High boost requires big fuel. As far as drivetrain, going back to the drivetrain, we went with some drive shaft shop level 5.9 axles. And those are the same axles we use on the front wheel drive setup, so we haven't changed anything as in regards to that. We just added and modified. The tires now, we decided that we were going down from 2 sizes. We are presently on 13-inch tires, 13 by 10 on the front and 13 by 8 on the rear. A lot of people say why we went with a smaller tire, but we want to take away some weight from the drivetrain, the rotational mass. So we believe that it would be more beneficial to the car, more usable power. So we went down a size to save some weight on that, right? We went down a size, but we never went smaller on the width, because width is what matters. Okay, so what we did, we changed the final drive to compensate for the smaller tire. So we achieved the same mile per hour, but with less weight. As far as the rear of the car now, where everybody wants to know what we did. We went with the shuttle, the 89, 88, 87 Civic shuttle parts. Now everybody knows that these parts are hot item, hot bread, expensive. But luckily, we found some parts in a country called Greece. Yeah. Paid the guy and he shipped them over, and we've struggled to get them in as usual. And so the back end, rear end, is a shuttle diff, is an open diff, not a limited diff as some people might think. I didn't want to go too tight with putting down the power. I wanted to leave some for, lose a little, gain a little. We didn't want to be too aggressive with the traction because it might break some. We want to run, we don't want to break. So we went with the shuttle drive shaft and the shuttle diff, and we made our own trailing arms in-house. And we reused everything from the control arm on the back. We didn't change anything. We fabricated our own hanger for the rear diff, and measured, cut, welded, everything was precise. The only thing we've done since then, since we've tested the car for the past couple of months, is retighten a few bolts that came loose, but that's about it. Didn't break anything, and nothing needed changing. As for electronics, computer, I've been doing this Motec ECU for a few years now. And a lot of people are scared of it because they say it's highly advanced and they're not able to handle it in terms of, but mostly it's just people who are belittling themselves, I would say. Scared of, what they needed to do. So I've been with other ECUs that never strike me. There are issues that you couldn't explain as to why this was doing that or why that was doing that. And ever since we switched to Motec, I don't think I'll ever go back to an ECU, apart from a Motec. You know, we have this Motec M400 for like, I would say maybe about 10 years now. And we've done some things with it that people say can't be done. Because we're running eight injectors, and that is only associated with a M800 that has 8 injector outputs. Now we are using one output to drive 2 injectors. Some people say crazy, but it's working, and it has been working for the longest while. We have no issues. Understand? It is where I would want to be in an ECU then, put it that way. No more ECUs for me, apart from a Motec. Ignition. We have gone with a ignition box, not a MSD from out of Australia. It's a M&W Pro 14. You want to solve your ignition problems, go with a M&W. Trust me. Let us go back to one other thing. The transmission issues that we were having. The biggest drawback we had with the transmission when we were doing the crossover from front wheel drive to four wheel drive was the transmission. And the reason being, back then everything that was on the market that was developed for the K-series, because everybody was doing K-series swaps. K-series swaps, actually we started our K-series, our B-series swap before Speed Factory. We tested before Speed Factory, you know, because they were waiting on parts and we were ordering parts from the same people. Their parts actually came to me by mistake. I had to send it back. The problem was nothing was developed, so a lot of the things we had to stumble upon, you know, because one of the things was the bracket for the shifter. Everyone knows that a B series is a rod shifter, and now the all-wheel drive B series is a cable shifter. Carries 2 cables, as similar to the Accord. That transmission is very similar to the Accord transmission. In fact, the internals is the same as the Accord internals. But the transmission now is a cross between B series and the H series. So they call it, you know, the halfway, because it carries the B series bellowsing, but the H series internals. So we now had to start to modify the bracket and figure out which shifter cables would work and which shifter would work. Because remember, nobody made anything. So during the process of modifying and making our own, this guy from Miami, DNA Performance, Duanis R, developed the bracket. So we got the bracket from him. We actually bought about 3 different cables to try to see which one would work. So we end up with 1 set working, so we have 2 extra sets. Right, so we had that part down to a T. And as far as modifying the transmission, we only took it apart like 18 times and put it back together just to get it right. You know, as we say, we had to use what we have. And it worked out well. We never had to open it once. Everything worked out perfect. To be quite honest, the B series versus the K series. Some people may say the K series is stronger, and some people may say the B series is stronger. But you will have some die-hearted B series guys, and you will have some K series guys that it is easier for them, because that there is no secret that the K series makes the power easier, and it in fact can make more power with less effort. But I am a die-hearted B series guy, and I believe that whatever the K series can do, we can do better. we all know the B series hold both world records. And, well, not the world record for the all-wheel drive, but the world record for the fastest four-door all-wheel drive B series. All right, and the weak points in the B series is mainly the oil pump, because the B series oil pump is a 1-to-1 ratio, and it uses a gear type setup, and if your crankshaft is not balanced, you're going to have a oil pump problem. You'll break the gears, etc. But as far as longevity and strength and making the power, the B series can do it just as well. It's a more linear motor. The K series is a more aggressive motor. The B series versus the K series. In fact, I've never considered switching my B series to a K series. Never, ever, ever. But as far as the K series is concerned, I was the first to put a K series in a EK in this country and boost it. And that car is still around. As I said, the only drawback with the B series that I see versus the K series is the way the oil pump is designed. That is it. And a lot of people who might want to go B series all-wheel drive, they don't need to fear not. The parts are there that can make your B series all-wheel drive safely and handle power. But and also it's not a secret that the K series all-wheel drive parts are stronger. You can get more out of the OEM setup, meaning the factory bellows and the factory transfer case and all of that, and the gears, you know, because they are physically bigger. But if you already have a B series engine making power and you have the right parts, you work just the same, because everything from the transfer housing back to the rear is the same parts for the all-wheel drive setup. So the only difference is the engine, the B series versus the K series, and power is power. No matter what you use, I make it. Power. All right. I have a dyno, and I do dyno tuning for all ECUs, but I'm not really a fan of my race car on the dyno all the time. I have tuned my car up to 900 horses on the dyno. But as far as above that, I have not. I've gone to like 35 pounds of boost on the dyno with this car, which was like 900 plus horses. But at the track, let's put it this way, I've gone to 46 pounds at the track. The fastest time in this car, as we all know now, is 8.8 seconds at 154 miles per hour. Some might think that the mile per hour is a little bit low, but on an all-wheel drive car, it's not, because we're not really slipping, we're not spinning. We're hooking and we're going. As per a front-wheel drive, we will be spinning, so you'll be netting more mile per hour, but less time. Now, me going 8.8 at 154 tells me that there's a lot more in the car. because the car wasn't at max, and we came out of the lights on a very moderate 18 pounds of boost. So we ramped the boost up. We ended up at 46 in fourth gear. And as I said, anyone who has understanding about how this thing works, there's a lot more there. The car wasn't run at the max because I set my shift light at a moderate 9400 RPMs, and I never saw the shift light once. That run was for data, to collect data. And from the data that I had collected, there's much more potential in the car without breaking a sweat. Let's put it that way. The car is not really that light either. The car is about 2,500 pounds with me in it. 2450, 25. But I'd say if in the future, if the track is prepped somewhat in a better format, we all should see a better time. Not for me, but for everyone. To be honest with you, I don't have a rival. I've never had one, and nobody has never called me out as a rival either. And my enjoyment in this sport is not to rival anyone, but to make my team happy and my fans. Those are who drive me, not the rival. However, there are many racers that I admire. You know, if I can name one, Mr. Herbie Edwards. I admire him because, you know, he's always at a race meet, and I see what it's doing for him. It's keeping him alive. You know, Mr. Nut, those guys I admire. I mean, I respect everyone, you know, so nobody feel like I don't respect them when I say I admire one and not the next, but those guys, I really look up to them. You know what I mean? The biggest challenges usually are, you do everything, you tell yourself that you're one step ahead because you know you have other customers' car to deal with and you have yours and you don't want to leave the customer hanging. So you tend, my thing is I deal with my car first and get it out the way. Then I deal with the customer's cars. But most times and every time you try to get your car out the way, like the last meet, if I give you the story for the last meet, you might write a book. But we prevailed still. Everybody knew the last, the first time I ventured out all-wheel drive, I broke a motor. I threw a rod and broke the motor, so I bought a new block. Put the block together and install it in the car, start it up for the past week or so. Everything seemed to be perfect until we went to check the oil. We realized that water was mixing with the oil. We started to chase our tails now, figuring out what was happening. And that one was a bitch. We took the motor apart twice, put it back together, still had the problem. We had the same old motor, we had that old motor sitting down in the corner. So we had to play some heroes now. We had to knock out sleeve, switch out sleeve, change out sleeve, reuse head gaskets, all of that. The car was ready at about 12:30, 1 o'clock on Sunday morning. So the team and I, we went home, changed, and came back to put the car together on the trailer. So most of the time, that was it. You don't know what to expect at the last moment when you put everything together and say, oh, everything is good now, you know? Because these parts are man-made, you know, anything can happen. You don't know what to expect. You just have to have an open mind and a strong will. The most memorable experience was the first time we ran 10s. First time we went 10.9 in this car. It was on a small 13-inch tire. Everybody said we couldn't go 10s on that tire. And the car was full interior. Yeah, the car was full interior. And I had a slipped disc in my spine. So half of my body was numbed in my right side. Yeah. And I still drove the car. That was with the guy from Cayman with the Skyline, the R32 Skyline, way back in the day. And the clutch was slipping, and we still went 10-9 on the small tire. And when I come back up on the return lane, a Rasta man lift me up. I said, my youth, you're the best. And him knock the glass, and him say, hold on, a glass? I say, yeah man, him say, a glass, aya. You know? Because them time everybody have Lexan and, yeah. But the car was a street car. You know what I mean? Mm. That year, you know, I think it was one of them trophies, I think it was 2004. Yeah. I think it was 2004. Or 06, one of them time there. But you know the guy, the Rasta man, come back at Jamaica with a car and start race. Yeah man. What I love most about my car, and I want to change the thing where we say my car, because the car is our car. You know what I mean? My thing is, it's not because it's a race car, it mustn't look good. It must look clean, it must look appropriate, and it must catch the eye of it, you know? So, the sound is the killer. When you're on the top end and you listen to the car coming, you know what I mean? That one they get you every time still. Well, as far as goals, I'm never a presumptuous person. There's always a person who gives thanks for tomorrow, because there might not be a tomorrow. So as far as goals, I'd say yes, living throughout the year to the end of the year is a goal enough for me. But as far as where the car is concerned, touching the 8 second was that goal.
8.8 second run.
And I always tell the guys that we're going to jump 9 and go to 8. So we're not worried about who we're at 9. We're going to go 8. You know, and when we broke the car the last meet, where the engine broke, after looking at the data, we analyzed the data. I tell them, so this was a 8 second run. This was a 8.8 or 8.7 run, if it didn't break. Because the car broke at 8,000 RPM in 3rd gear. Yeah. Yeah, man. Frustration, brother. Hello. You have to have endurance. That's why, as I say, every day, we have to thank God for endurance and strength, first and foremost, because without him, I would have thrown in the towel a long time and say, yo, waste of time and waste of money. I remember when I first bought this pump, the 2345 pump. I bought the pump, I bought a filter, 2 filters, braided lines, everything, and put on the pump on the car. When to start the car, I smell something funny. I'm like, what could happen here, son? What could this be? Because everything is supposed to be new. They shouldn't have a problem. When I check it out, I realized it was a pump got burned. And we still couldn't figure out why the pump burned. So checking and checking and checking and checking. Keep in mind now, you know, the pump burned, so I have to go buy another one. That's one thing. Then now, for try to figure out what caused the pump to burn. The car not start, you know. We just switch it on and the pump charge. Then eventually we figure out it was a filter. The filter was not I would say a prescribed filter. It was like a knockoff filter for a price, and that goes to tell me that if you're not buying something sensible, don't spend your money because it costs you more in the long run. And I see a lot of racers doing that. I mean, everybody don't have money still, but try to save up your money and buy the right thing one time. It makes sense, it worth it. So I had to go back and buy another pump. And race meet was coming up the following week. So you have to get somebody to bring down the pump and put it together and retune the car, you know, so that was the biggest, yeah. You know, that is a good question, but selling my car is like selling my heart. This car is like my TV room. Or this car is where I release all my tension and my stress. You know, you come and you have your stress, your issues, you just come and you start pull a bolt or two and do this. You know, in no time you're mellow again. So no, I wouldn't sell it. I'd gladly build one for anyone though. The fans are the people that drive the sport. And my thing is, as long as there's a race meet and the car is in condition, we're going to go and we're going to make the fans happy. The fans are calling and they're asking if the car can go faster. They've been calling and they've been texting and are going to say yes, it can go a lot faster. And we intend to go faster because now we have the data where we can make the necessary changes. However, we're going to hope that nothing breaks because at this level, stuff breaks. And it has nothing to do with being inferior or nothing, but you know, stuff breaks. As far as international racing, yes. A week ago, I was at World Cup finals in Maryland, and to be honest with you, I did not know that I had such a huge fan base abroad. I was in the stands, and people was calling me left, right, and center, healing me up, bigging me up, and everything. I mean, I'm like, Buju, Buju. I'm like, you know, but we rap with everybody, and a gentleman from Cayman was asking me about doing something over there. But I have another friend of mine in Guyana who's asking me ever since that he will take the car to Guyana. Now, I didn't want to go to Guyana as yet without pleasing my Jamaican people, you know, so I guess we'll work on that, the Guyana thing for next year. But yeah, we have plans to go over there, I would say. Well, you know, as we go say again, the first and most important shout out to the Almighty God. Give you the strength and the endurance, and the knowledge. Second of all, Ian God 90, Jam West. Give you the tool, play with the toys. Thank you, sir. Kenty and the family. Thank you for what you're doing. A lot of people help you along the way, and the list is very long to say thank you. But also, 876 Streets. Can't forget that. But I want to tell the fans something too. If you have a racer that you admire, you the fans are who fuel the sport. Reach out to them and tell them what you think. You know? It helps. And go further. If you have a spanner, a screwdriver, and you want to give you know what I mean? Pass it on. It's just helping the sport. No? So basically, we want to see the sport grow, so come out and support your racer. You know what I mean? Give him a call, find out what's going on. You know, everybody will talk to you. It's not hard. You don't have any money for him, man? Oh, I'm sorry I left out that one. I'm just want to tell everyone that we're open to sponsorship and we would love some sponsorship. So, I mean, sponsorship can go in many ways and formats. I mean, if you can see the car is clean, we haven't had any sponsors yet or offers, we are open to that. And fans who are willing to assist, we're open to that as well. You don't have to be anything big, anything small, we'll appreciate it because, you know, every mickle make a muckle. And, you know, we welcome you. If it's even a hi, hello, we rate that too. Yeah, man. To be honest with you, a call out would be very, I would say, impertinent to me then in a sense because I couldn't call out who slower than me. But it would be a way for call out who faster than you. But I'd love to run with Mr. Williams. The fans, that will make the fans and the sport take it to another level. It's not a call out, but it's just a run with. You know, would I love to say Choco and, you know what I mean? Yeah. As I say again, respect due, it's not a call out, but it's a run with. You know what I mean? Because I know them want to pay them dues and do them things too, so we want to see them come back in the sport. So, at this point, we want to say to the Jamaican people and the motorsport fans, drag rivals, the last drag rival for the year will be on the 24th, Sunday, November, the Jam West Sport Complex. I want you to come on out, support your driver, support the sport, enjoy yourself. I will be there, the team will be there, and a lot of other people will be there who we haven't seen in a long time, who I'm sure you'd like to see. Fast cars will be there, records will be broken, hearts will be broken. So come on out.